Welcome to Ritual 365, and more importantly, welcome to what's behind your username and password, your login. Let's go ahead, let's give you a little bit of a tour of how you interact with all the awesome and stackable content here at Ritual 365. Now, let's break down what I mean by stackable. Stackable means that we understand life happens, and there are certain times where we might not be able to work out as much as we wanted to, or we might not be able to focus on the lifestyle items as much as we want to. Now, really think about lifestyle for us, like sleep quality, nutrition, we have how things are sourced, we have serving, there's a ton out there. But it's really more of a balancing act of making sure that we haven't neglected our lifestyle habits and we've just poured everything into fitness, because guess what? Sometimes fitness can be taken away from us, and it's usually never the sexy way it does, right? It's like, I broke my foot walking upstairs, right? And you're like, how did that happen? And then all of a sudden you can't work out as much, right? And then that's why it's important to make sure we're diving into these lifestyle items as well. Now, before I start to monologue, which I do a lot, let's dive into the dashboard. This is going to be your meat and potatoes for the program that's going to get you to the workouts and then the lifestyle and the focus for the specific month that we're on. You can go ahead and go to the current day, or you can do 3 days back or 3 days forward. Now, of course, when you go in here, you'll also be able to go and visit it on your left nav bar right over here in daily workouts, and you're going to be able to go ahead and look at the gratitude, the snack portion, the main, and then of course the finisher. Now remember, this is where it's even more snackable depending on your goals and how much time you have. We always suggest do the gratitude. It only takes a few minutes because it gets your mindset and your heart set in the right position to make sure we find the successes that we've had in life, to be able to breed motivation so we can really start to work hard. Now, before we go ahead and dive into all the options there of snack, main, and finisher, let's keep on looking at this left nav bar or the dashboard. We have our focuses for our monthly lifestyle. Now, if you go ahead and click in here, this is going to go ahead and give you really everything related to that lifestyle focus for the month. There's going to be a lot of great content in terms of always some goals and targets for the lifestyle. It's going to go ahead and also give you the top picks for Coach Amy and myself related to that we found that was most useful for us to try to go ahead and gain that sleep quality, wins for nutrition, among so many other items that we touch on throughout the entire year. Now, the next item here is going to go ahead and be for the dashboard are trophies. Trophies are important because it tells us how our progress has gone for the year or the time that we've had in Ritual 365. Now, remember, it's important to make sure you keep track of stuff, right? Now, it's, for those of you that just absolutely despise it, don't worry, right? You're still gonna get results and it doesn't force you to keep track. But when we are able to go ahead and be consistent on logging what we've done and just hitting the mark complete button, it allows us to look back on this trophy case and then let us see where we've been able to go ahead and work really hard on. Like I've been really good on doing our snacks, but I really don't do very many finishers. Or, you can just kind of keep on giving yourself accolades and seeing like, it doesn't seem like I did a lot this year, but you know what? My trophy case is super full and like I'm actually killing it, right? For what life has thrown at me this year. Now, that is the end of the dashboard, right? The basics. Now, let's look over the nav bar on our left side of our screen. We have our movement library. That's where we're going to be able to see all of our movement guides. Think all the movements that we do here at Ritual 365. You're going to get a video that allows you to get the durability tips. Think of how do we do movement safe and correctly, and then we dive in on try hard tips, aka if we're doing it right, then let's make sure we get the most out of them as well. Those are videos and some content as well and mix-ups. You'll really love this section. It's categorized here if you want to search and just kind of play around in buns. Think of that's legs, guts, right? That's abs or core or trunk, guns. We have our arms, upper back, and then other, because some movements just transcend all of those categories. Now from here, right, we've already kind of talked about our daily section of fitness here, and the cool thing is that on every section that has something related to a movement, you can do a quick go to here, and it's going to allow you to see and get a quick little tip and trick for the movement if you have no idea or if you've never done that movement, but if we're asking you to do it in the workout for a day. Always really great. Now, if I were to go ahead and categorize the difference between snack, main, and finisher, these are the stackable movements. Think snack are wonderful warm-ups, or if you only have time just for a quick 5-minute move on our body, because that's really important for joints to not get too tight, hit snacks up all the time. Really good. Follow along with Coach. They are awesome. You'll also be able to go ahead and get the daily laugh, guys. Always fun. They are really bad sometimes, right? They're true dad jokes. Then, of course, we have our mains. We've already talked about that. That's going to be more like HIIT sections, really get your heart and breath rate up along with that sweat. And then finishers are going to be the cherry on top. That's going to be really related to catching up any musculature for the average person, that we find that usually it's lagging, right? There's a deficit of strength there, and really kind of catch it up to make sure we're really keeping away and pushing injury as far out if it never happens at all. And then also it's really good for joint development. This is also a lot of movements that really help sculpt the body as well. So if you were a beginner and you're like, Coach, this is a lot, I would suggest doing snack and the finisher section. And then once you feel like you're able to do those really well, it's working well with your schedule, then start to add mains in. From here, we have our lifestyle pillars. We've already talked about those. We have our specialty tracks. This is going to be ideas for if you want to not only work out with friends, but make sure your goal and the format of the workout forces you to work together. That's always fun. We have our follow alongs for those of us that really like to be interactive and we like to watch somebody do the workout as we do it. We have 12 amazing workouts here that you can follow along with Coach Amy and I, and they are going to get you fit, and especially in combination with the snacks and the finishers. It's going to be awesome, and that's going to allow you to go ahead and just kind of keep on moving towards your goals. So then we have monthly challenges. These are going to be one-offs that really help through the month. You build the base of your fitness through not breathing heavy per se, right? Like a workout format, but it's gonna be one thing, like a plank or a push-up or a squat hold. You'll see as we go along. Then we have our travel. For those of us, the cool thing is Ritual 365 is based off of dumbbells. So for those of us that have access and we're traveling to a hotel, most hotels now these days have dumbbells available to us. Ritual 365 has got you, right? Doesn't really mess with your training protocols. But what if you're someplace where you don't have a hotel gym, right? These are gonna be great ways to get your heart rate up and still feel like you're moving without any additional equipment. Then of course we have grind. Grind is going to be, for those of you that just love the pain cave, those longer 20, 30, even 40 an hour workout sessions, that is one workout continuously, right? Now remember, we can stack all of our content between snack, main, finishers, and some other items to kind of make up a longer session, but these workouts are going to go ahead and based off of guys, 5 rounds, 20, 30 different movements, go, right? Just for example, for anyone out there, always really fun. But of course, we have our trophies, we have our favorites as well. Our favorites are going to be important because what if I go back to yesterday and say, you know what, Coach, I really love this double under and burpee box jump workout. I'm gonna start because I think I'm gonna wanna repeat it here and there. And if when I do that and I go down to favorites, it shows up right here. Right? You can click it and be like, okay, yeah. Or if you're just not feeling the workout of the day, if you've done a good job and you've logged some of your favorites, you can click here and you have a little library start to build of being like, okay, let's just click through these and see if any speaks to my soul for the day, if you know what I mean. Workout logs are gonna be really important. For example, I did some weighted step ups. If that was a finisher that you were doing, you could come back here, you could type it in, search for it, and be like, oh, I put some notes down. Looks like a weak leg was the left, right? Okay, great. Maybe I'm gonna go ahead and make sure if I'm feeling tired and I cut the session short, I'm going to make sure I get one additional set in with my weak leg, my left one, just to catch it up. Guys, so that's going to go ahead and be our dashboard. That's gonna be our left nav bar and all the content available to you there. Then of course, you can feel free, if you're loving Ritual 365, which I'm sure you will, invite a friend with this special code linked to your profile, or just send them an email. Always good times. As always, if you need help, feel free to reach out to us via social, or you can go ahead and reach out to us hello@ritual365.com. I love doing this. We created it for those of us that are on the go, we're busy, and really found that we needed a stackable piece of content that just doesn't leave fitness behind, but also doesn't leave our lifestyle focuses behind. Always a good time, guys, and hopefully we'll see you in the portal.